In most of your edits, you will want to add some sort of title or opening graphic that adds production value and establishes what your edit is. For this one, it's basically just a montage of some fall footage, so an appropriate name would be Fall 2015. So in order to create a title, we can do it a few different ways. Let's make some room here in our project panel window because this is where the title will be created. Let's close down footage. Let's close down music. Let's create a folder called titles. And because now we have two sequences, it might make sense to also create a sequences folder. And let's select both of those and drag those into the sequences. If you do need to pass this on to another editor, having it organized like this makes it very easy to find things. Okay, so inside titles we have nothing right now, so we need to create a title. To create a title, you go up to Title, New Title, and then you have a few different options here, so we're just going to want a default still. It won't be moving at all, so default still. This new title window will open up. We wanted the width and height of our comp, so that's fine, 1920 by 1080. Our time base is fine, and pixel aspect ratio is 1.0, which is correct. We can then name it. We'll call this intro title. Okay, so this is our type window. We have some different presets at the bottom. We have the properties on the right side. We have some different tools on the left and some options to align on the bottom left. Okay, so with our type tool selected, we can click and then start typing. If we go back to our selection tool, on the right side here we have a few different options. We can change this to bold. We can increase the font size. We can change the aspect ratio. We can change the kerning, the tracking, the small caps, and a whole bunch of other stuff such as the fill color, and so on. So for our purposes, we will leave this at 0 and 0. We don't need anything else at this moment. So with this selected, we can click and hold and move it wherever we would like, whichever area of the frame feels good for the title. So for this one, we can move it to roughly the middle, to about there. And just to be safe and make sure that we are in the center, we can use the center alignment tool, which is the horizontal center. And that'll snap it right to the middle. If we did want to snap it as well to the vertical center, we can use that as well. But we do not want to do that in this case, so I'm going to click, hold Shift, and bring it all the way down. And if you hold Shift, if you try to move it left or right, it'll snap to the middle. Okay, so that's in the center. Now, this background is just showing you a preview of where the timeline cursor is. If I lower this, then you can see that the timeline cursor is over this clip, and that's the frame we see. So this is just a visual representation. If you don't want to see that, you can turn off the eyeball, and it'll look more like Photoshop. So when that's done, you can click the X up here, as you don't need to save it. It creates this title here, and now you can save. So Command S, and that'll save your project with this new title.